This is the Coach Bryan Moore Show with Opelika head football coach Bryan Moore. And now with Coach Moore, the voice of the Bulldogs, Van Riggs.
After a couple months away, welcome back here on the Bryan Moore Show. Along with head coach Bryan Moore, I'm Van Riggs. We're excited. Fall camp is underway, and the season's coming up next week. And, Coach, I know a lot of excitement going on fall camp. First, to start off, tell us how fall camp's been.
It's been good. You know, we're a weekend, and camp is really a short, 2-week period now. It used to 2-a-days and that sort of thing. So camp has changed. You know, for what a lot of the men that are listening to this show remember, it's summer so much longer, and you can do so much more now. That camp has been cut down, and rightfully so. It helps us with contact and keeping kids healthy and that sort of thing. But it's been good. I mean, we've had one major scrimmage we had Friday was our first fully padded day. Otherwise, it's been shorts or shells. This week we can go in pads, but there's some contact rules there too that we have to adhere to. So we're excited. We got Meet the Bulldogs Friday night, so that's a great way for us to get under the lights and see our guys. But it's been good, healthy so far, and hopefully that continues. We got a chance to have another good team. A lot of new faces, though. A lot of new names out there for people because we graduated a great senior class. But we're excited about it.
Yeah, I heard some people talking about college football teams, week one, they say the defense is always ahead of the offense usually when you go in. It may not be the case for your team. Your defense is the young part of your team.
No doubt. Inexperience for sure. All 5 back-end guys are new. Both safeties are strong safety and both corners are new. All of them played some, and they're juniors. We're not starting, sophomores or definitely not freshmen. So that's something that, we had a plan for. But still, until they play against Ben Russell, we really don't know. We've had a spring game. We've had a ton of competitions through the summer, but we'll see how they hold up. Linebackers will have 2 new starters. LaKeidrick Burt's in there and Caden Harris. But again, those guys have played. Like, those are names that you've called.
Right.
And people that have played a good bit. And then up front, same thing. New faces, but baby TJ, Tremaine Thomas is coming back, sort of our leader over there. Therese Thomas on the other side, Isaiah Gray. So we're excited. We're really athletic over there. We can run, and we got some length, and we'll look the part. It's just, are the lights too bright, and can we settle in and not make rookie-type mistakes, because it's very different than practice.
Yeah, and we got a little brief window in the spring when we were talking last time we did a show. He had a half against a football team in Wetumpka, and I thought the defense really played well.
They ran to the ball. I mean, and that's what we'll have to do. More movement. We don't have the 2 big bodies in there like Malik and Jakai. We're a little bit smaller in there, so we have to put people on the move and twist and bring guys from different areas, but probably faster overall on defense this year. And excited, though. I mean, I think we're going to have stretches of really good football and then maybe some lulls in there that we'll have to kind of work through early. But I think as the year goes on, we got a chance to be really good over there, especially late in the season.
Yeah, and I know we'll do a show game week, but you got Benjamin Russell coming up and then Callaway on the road before Auburn. So, I mean, there's no cupcake to start out the season.
Really at all in our season. We talked about it, at length last year about our schedule, and that schedule just rolled over and flipped to the other side this year. So no, new classifications or anything. So we're playing the same schedule. But yeah, I expect Ben Russell to be improved. Callaway, the Callaway game last year was a weird game. Up until that point, those games had always been really close with us and them, and their level of athletes just like ours. And so even though in Georgia, it's a smaller school, it's just a little bit smaller than us. I mean, in Alabama, they would be a very large school. And so, we're excited about playing them too and going on the road. It is on Thursday night. It's on Georgia Public Television. And so that's kind of cool to put it out for them. That's why it's on a Thursday. And then the next week with Auburn, same thing. Alabama Public Television with us. So we're excited. They're saying it'll be the largest high school broadcast in history, based on all the big cities that have picked it up.
Right.
And the amount, you know more about that than me, but the amount of coverage for the kids. And that's what we wanted. We wanted, our kids to be able to play on TV, for them to kind of experience that type of atmosphere. So, yeah, it's quite a start for our football team in the first 3 games for sure.
Yeah, and those games that will be televised in Georgia and in Alabama, if you don't have those channels, of course, the NFHS network broadcast will be the same like always, but it'll give people opportunity that's never seen like the Auburn-Opelika game in Huntsville or Birmingham to get a chance to tune in and go, man, that's some big-time football in East Alabama.
No doubt, and then the pregame stuff, too, that comes with it, and of course you guys, the kicker and everybody will still be covering us as well, but it'll be a lot of fun. It's all, look, I say it all the time, but high school sports is about experience. It's about it's fun. I mean, Fridays and Thursday night games are fun, and to put our kids in those type of atmospheres and that type of environment they'll never forget that the rest of their life. I mean, I can vividly remember walking out last year at Auburn and just looking around and going, wow, I mean, it's unreal when it sells out on a Monday.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you're doing this for. And so the kids can have something to remember forever. But it'll be a lot of fun. And so we're excited about our first 3 games. Again, the competition is really good as always.
And to add to it, it'll be the 100th meeting between Opelika and Auburn, just to add a little more buzz to the game. Talk about this week, Coach. I know coming up on Friday, we've got Meet the Bulldogs. You teased that a little bit. This will be a chance for fans to come out. It'll be kind of like a game day atmosphere. And the younger guys will get it started. Yeah,
so we'll start with flag football this year. Our girls will go out and scrimmage at 4, and then our 7th and 8th grade will follow. And then at 5:30 we have player recognition, where we'll call out each player, not only flag and junior high football and varsity football and JV in 9th grade, but also our cross country, swim, volleyball. I hope I've gotten everybody, but we want to recognize all of our fall sports, and because again, we want it to be a big community gathering. Last year, so many people, we didn't have concessions, and so we fixed that with our executive committee that you're part of, and we're hoping to make it like a game. And really, it's a run through not only for our players, but also our support staff and everybody that's involved, our chain crew and officials. They'll be there training, and so you'll see like 20 officials, and they'll be subbing, and it's just a great trial run for us to make sure that everything works properly, especially when you open your season at home. Last year us on the road gave us a couple of weeks to iron out the kinks, but this year starting at home, but also just being under the lights as well. There's a different way of, fielding a punt or a kickoff when the lights are on. And so we wanted to play the varsity portion will start at 7:30 so that hopefully it's almost dark.
Right.
And then we get at least the tail end of it under the lights. So that's something else. I talked to, about our inexperience. Well, that gives us a little preview for our guys to kind of, calm down and play in the stadium in front of people. Because last year I would bet there's 2,000 people at our deal. And so we hope that everybody come out. It's free of charge. And we just want people to come see the kids. And actually at 6, we've got a fan day type experience where our seniors will sign posters. So any kid can come out on the field and, get the Hammer Johnson signature and, all those, just make it fun. I just, as a kid, remember fan day, and getting my stuff signed. So that'll be really cool. So you can bring a helmet or a football and we'll sign whatever. It'll be a really cool experience.
We can kind of grade their signatures too, because, cursive's kind of out now. So the signatures I've noticed with my son, and, it's kind of like, what is this?
It's a lot of print now. Like you got to learn,
Fast print.
Yes, absolutely.
So you get some fast print signatures from the guys. But also a big push to join the quarterback club. I know we're going to have a dinner coming up on Thursday this week, kind of a preseason kickoff, and still a chance for folks out there to join the quarterback club. Yeah,
absolutely. It's online. You can find it, I believe, at opelikafootball.com. You can find a link. If not, you can email or call me, and we'll make sure we get it. But I think we're around 70 members-ish. We've got some coming in even today. But the kickoff, the only way to come to the dinner on Thursday, it's probably the biggest dinner we have of the year, truthfully, is to be a quarterback club member. And so you can do that and check those levels and join. And I'll speak. Coach Landers will be there this week. I wanted him to talk about the academic piece.
Right.
For 20 years, he's done that for this school and gotten countless kids into college and helped them. So I thought it was a great thing to talk about. Cade McGee will speak as well. He's been kind of the hot name lately because of the work he's doing with all of our sports. So I thought it would be really cool not only to talk about, but to be in his environment, because it's that's happening in the indoor.
Yeah.
And then Coach Dawkins, Tyler Dawkins, is going to speak. He's our co-defensive coordinator. Last year, Coach Massey, Coach Ferguson, and Coach Atkins spoke. So I want to rotate those guys so people get to hear from different coaches and different perspectives. And then next Thursday, we got the luncheon. So we're getting to a point where people can really see our program and come and eat with us and enjoy the show as well.
Yeah, mark that down on your calendars for next Thursday. First Baptist Church, Opelika. We'll, of course, have a game week edition coming up next week. Hard to believe, Coach.
I know, it's crazy. And, like I said, when fall camp started, we were like 18 days from kickoff.
Yeah. And
now we're less than that. And, you just, you hope you have good weather and you get a full practice in. And again, you hope you stay healthy. But this week is telling. This week is about those rotational guys. This is about, am I the third running back, or am I the fourth receiver? Am I going to have an opportunity to play on Fridays? Can I do that? And so we're going to see, Blake Johnson, some of those guys, we'll pull back on those guys this week a little bit. They'll still practice and get better and their conditioning and all. but it'll be about those next guys. You know, am I ready to step out there against Benjamin Russell and compete at a high level against a really good team?
Well, good luck the rest of the week, Coach.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Preseason edition here of the Bryan Moore Show next week. It'll be game week, and of course we'll be previewing Benjamin Russell right back here on the Bryan Moore Show.